with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473-418.
Saturday, February 8th, 2025. Grenada, get ready as Idol City Sports presents its 5th annual football nights. The annual night football competition. Roses Field, St. Patrick. One of the much drugs, any money, no, you're the catcher for $20,000 up for grabs. Yeah. And the first place winner of the senior team will receive $4,000. Under 17, 1,500. Second place, 3,000. Under 17, 1,000. Plus, you can win individual prizes. Football on the lights, which run from Saturday, February 8th until Saturday, May 3rd. And all teams will be coming up against the Roseland football team. The defending champion. Registration fees for senior team, $400. And under 17, you enter free. All teams will be able to register 20 players. And all players' uniform must be numbered. No unauthorized vending. To register, contact 538-7509 or 406-9580. One game will be played on weekdays and 2 games on the weekends. Game kicks off from 7 p.m. Kicks off Saturday, February 8th and ends on the 3rd of May, 2025.
Your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
That we are back. And thank you so much, guys, for your patience. I was able to touch base with the IT guy, and he came from wherever he is and fixed it through the system. So we like to say thank you. Everyone is good now. Mary, I know you're hearing us now. Lorna Bain is going to hear us now. We are back. So let me say good morning to everyone that's online. Starting off with Marlon Klein. Then we go to Mary Olavachi. We go to Bonjourno, by the way. I don't not forgetting to say Bonjourno. Faithlin Halle Douglas, Chance the Game, Lorna Bain. Let's say good morning to Jenny. Good morning to each and every one of you that checking online, and thank you so much for your patience. It is Tuesday. We do not have time to chit chat this morning, just to do it. You just want to, you have a few words that you want to say.
You have a thing that
What you want to say? You're paying for it?
just crazy rush. You got 2 hours.
But
Oh my
it's not
gosh.
10:30.
Oh,
Say your thing. Go
well,
ahead.
congratulations to St. Patrick's Anglican Day, 193 years in existence. A big celebration on the streets of Sutton on Friday
Yes, it is.
last. They played red, pure. So that's good. Because they captured the branch
Yes, the branch thing to
sports
also.
cycle,
Yes,
the
yes.
athletics cycle for the second time in the history of the games.
Really?
Yeah, the last time
Okay.
they were able to achieve that was back in the year 2013.
Okay.
Right. Sport had the launch yesterday of
How was
the
that?
activities for because yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and yeah, it wasn't all that bad. Could have been a little bit better, but we must commend them, for
For trying to get an A for effort?
yeah. Western Games is back there on this afternoon, so you can go and support the
Oh, it's
secondary
today?
schools. Yeah, at
Oh.
Albert Peters parking.
Why do they
Wow,
think it's so another time? My mic is spinning.
another time again.
I don't know.
Okay,
Yes, I'm sitting right away. You're shouting.
yesterday showed. I know I showed. Yes. Actually, I was browsing through, and I was on my phone early,
Mm-hmm.
and I happened to come across Ride Along program.
I heard
I'm
about that.
telling you, Claire,
I heard. I don't even want
Kennedy
to
Budla was
talk
on
about
the.
it.
No,
Yeah,
we're
no
not
gloves,
talking. I
no
just
gloves.
briefly
I
mentioned.
saw no gloves off. Oh, no gloves
Yeah,
on, gloves are off.
but
Yeah.
people who listening
Mm-hmm.
would be in a state of shock and
At what he said
of some of the revelations or the utterances.
that he made.
Yeah,
Okay.
so people will have to analyze and question themselves, and I'm telling you,
It's yours. It's your mic, not mine. See what's going on with the push your thing in there? Switch mic. Take out your number two. We have a technical problem. Just somebody's having technical problems, not me.
Should I put it on number 3 then?
You're trying number three.
Choose number 3.
Number three is this one over there.
Play number 3 then, see.
Let's see. Speak, are you?
Now you have it on.
We're number three here. I'm at number three. Go ahead.
No, I'm not hearing anything.
So that is that mic over there. You gotta switch them. Be careful when you switch it because it's gonna fall. Just give us a moment. Just have a bit of a technical issue. We're gonna come right back to you. Oh, just say smart one morning. What's going on? Ah, nothing is working with us this morning. No, we're not even getting any audio from here. What's going on? Just not working.
Yeah.
You're here now?
Yeah.
You're here now? Okay. So, signal is are we hearing Jester properly now? So we are number three. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you hearing Jester? So I can make them see us right now. But they are hearing, right?
Yeah, well.
Over there, switch is turn it around to you. Okay, so you're kind of small.
I tell you, when it rains, it pours. Believe me on that.
Yeah, it's seldom rain, but when it rains, it pours. Maybe we're not supposed to have the program this morning. I don't understand what's going on.
The devil is a liar, man.
Well, can I set a short video this morning and short it on yours? Let's see here.
Are they hearing me?
I'm not sure. Anyone hearing Jester? I think I should hear you. You're gonna push this in a bit further hit. Move it at the bottom. Yeah. Let's maybe transition you into the gap so nobody can see you. I'm doing this. Do you have any time of our life this morning? I should see. Now, there's no volume on this one either. You know what's going on here? Ad is not playing now, so just everything has gone wrong with us this morning. I don't know. It was playing just now, it's no longer playing. I think this is off. Is this unplugged from at the bottom? Just did you get anything down there?
No.
Check this card if under the black card here.
Continue.
Did you check that black card? But this is not playing. Everything has gone. Something is terribly wrong. Wow.
They were supposed to be that.
Yes. Zara radio has gone off. This is everything else plugged in properly, and I'm not sure that I'm hearing myself, seeing the system going. So let me go back to Zara radio and see what.
How are they hearing me?
Well, I'm trying to find out. Anybody hearing Jester? Let us know, please, if you're hearing Jester. You're not seeing us right now because you're working on something here, but this here has come out, I think, Jester. It's not working. I think, well, what did you unplug from here?
That's the thing. Something was unplugged from here. That's the number 3.
Yeah, put it back here. Put down number 3. This one. You have to follow that cord here. Because it's okay. It's plugged in underneath there, isn't it? I'm not sure what is going on. But let's go. No one is hearing us again, is it?
What was this?
Number 3 is the mic that you're having right now. Did you unplug that one, number 2?
Let me see that.
Hard Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Days to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, and 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Snack Buy.
Okay, so Jester, we are back. Can you please let us know if you're hearing us because we seem to be having an issue with our microphone, as Jester's one especially, not mine. So I think we are okay as we speak, right? Just I think you went down a little bit on your thingy here, so let's go. So today you're talking about St. Patrick's, and so you on your end your stuff, yes? With what you want
No,
to talk about? Okay, go ahead.
um, last night, in the People's Parliament, there was that session where the former, His Majesty opposition leader, that the Honorable Dr. Kit Mitchell was doing his presentation, and unfortunately, Clay had a blackout, and of course, I would like to wish him a very speedy recovery. You know, it must be a concern for his relatives, his mom, his close friends and well wishers, you know. So that's something I hope that, you know, he really get over quickly. You know, it was very, very unfortunate to
But you know what I heard
happen.
this morning, Jester, is that people are rejoicing over that.
Oh no, I mean, come on, seriously?
Yes, I mean, and I'm like, you don't even know what caused it and why you're rejoicing because it could be you today and me tomorrow and somebody else.
You don't
You
rejoice
can't do
over
that.
things like that. No, this is
That's
not
what they
being
said. Yeah, people are rejoicing over that. But you know what? It is not very good to do that.
oh, of course not. No.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah,
So
so
now
basically, yeah.
we're back, right? Everybody's hearing you, and all of that you said she's hearing you. So we're going to talk today. The topic is why am I not happy? And it talks about happiness and your mental health, and it gives you this here are some negative habits that prevents happiness. So, do you know any of those? Just the first question: are you happy?
I am happy, Fred. I am happy.
Okay. Do you think that I'm happy?
Knowing you, I believe you're happy.
Okay.
But happiness can come in a flash, you know, and it goes off in a flash as well. So it can fluctuate, you know, as you go about and you're dealing. Because first of all, what would you say is happiness? Happiness is really a state of mind where you probably would find some form of satisfaction, some form of contentment, and you know the effects would come with some form of pleasure along. So yeah,
Okay, if that's what you say, that I say
yes.
that every one of us is responsible for our own happiness. You may be able to enhance my happiness, vice versa, but really and truly, you cannot make me happy. So it says, "Hey, my friend." That's how you start. Hey, my friend. If you were to ask most people what they want most out of life, the answer would be to be happy. Simple enough, all right? But for whatever reason, happiness is elusive to most people. For whatever reason, they simply don't allow their life to be basked in happiness. In our diverse world, where everyone wants to stand out from the crowd and has their own opinions just about everything there is, rather than universal idea with all, regardless of age, race, location, gender, embrace. We all want to be happy. We want to feel that we matter, are loved, appreciated, problem free, carefree, and financially secure. And this has become one of the most obsessive quests of our society to be happy at all costs by all means. Happiness has undisputed benefits, supported by countless studies to about pretty much everything in our lives, from our mental or physical state to careers, relationships, finances. Would you say that that has some truth to it?
Oh yes, oh yes, most definitely. Because that I'm saying happiness would be at different stages, different levels. All right. So for example, you probably might have an exam to do, and you probably did not do well in that exam.
Right.
So it leave you in a state of unhappiness. So just that aspect, right, of your life dealing with that leave you in that state of unhappiness, particular in reference of the exam. But it doesn't mean in with factor into other things that you're not happy. So
So it says, now here's the thing. Nobody consciously chooses to be unhappy, but you can cause yourself a lot of misery by engaging in negative mental habits. The outcomes we experience in life are often the result of our habits. Eliminating these counterproductive habits from your life or my life is the first step to experiencing true happiness. And that's correct what they're saying. We are responsible for the happiness or the unhappiness that we experience in our lives because of our habits. And it says, I encourage you today to make an effort to eliminate habits that negatively impact your happiness, my happiness, if I am unhappy or if you're unhappy. You can start by tackling these negative habits. So here's one. Why am I not happy? Reason number one, having unreasonable timelines. Or what do you think they mean by that, Jester?
well, I feel like that is when you set your goals to deal with certain things, and you put a time to meet to meet it, and if you're falling short of it, that means you didn't meet the time of achieving it.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So he says nearly any goal is reasonable. Anything you can dream up and believe in 100% is usually possible. Unfortunately, it's common to overestimate what can be accomplished in a certain amount of time, which is why lots of people freak out and give up on a dream before even starting. Interestingly, most individuals underestimate what's possible over longer stretches. Be sure your timeline is reasonable. An overly optimistic estimation will leave you feeling defeated when you're unable to attain your goal on schedule. And this is exactly what you're saying. You set yourself up, telling yourself that you can do this in that amount of time. And when that time comes and you realize, well, oh my gosh, I can't do this, then it sets you back. Like you had that goal and you had that dream, and that just shatter everything. So, what we have to do as humans that are imperfect, we have to set goals and timelines that we know we can manage or what we can maintain.
I do agree. You see, happiness, that topic is a very, really and truly a broad subject this morning, correct? And again, then it will depend on the individual as to that inner strength they would have to deal with certain things to try and make themselves happy. Because let me tell you something. In the life out here, somebody could deliberately try and make your life very miserable and try to put you in a very unhappy state. And how do you deal with such would be a huge challenge to deal with in various ways, So I'm telling you, this this subject is more about happiness.
But yeah,
It all would boil back down to the individual and how they deal with the situation at
as I
hand.
said, it begins and ends with you.
Correct.
Does somebody say they can't hear again?
Oh yeah. Wow.
I don't know what's going on because we are hearing nicely here. We are hearing what I'm hearing myself. Um, is anyone not hearing us? So Nephelina says, good morning, can't hear anything. Let me see. Is anybody else? Oh, I'm not liking this. Not hearing us again? And it stays online and it's saying good morning to you. Can you please tell me if you're hearing us because if you're not hearing us, anyone that is not hearing us, just go out of your YouTube and come back in again because we were having problems earlier on and we had it fixed. So let us know if you're hearing us, I too. We really, really want to know. Yes. He's saying that loud and clear, so we are good.
Okay.
Natalina, go out of your thing and come back in on your phone again because we're having problems earlier on, and so
Okay.
Lorna, we are hearing, so we are good.
Good.
Good. Oh, I was saying, no, not again.
I hear enough phone ringing, and,
Yes,
yeah, and
somebody's
it's
phone
not
is ringing,
mine.
not my phone either.
Now who's on?
I don't know. My phone is on silent.
My
Somebody's phone is ringing in
own,
wherever. Let's see.
my own is on vibrate.
Or whose phone is ringing? Somebody's phone is ringing for real. Mary is hearing. Okay. Somebody's phone is ringing. I'm nothing here. Or maybe
Maybe
Taz's
Taz?
phone that is ringing. He's going to ring and say he's charging all day. So, yes. So, right. So, everybody's hearing us, so we are good. Good morning, Aito. How are you doing? We didn't hear from you last week. What happened? Where did you go? I kind of missed you because I was having a hard time with Jester last week. So, he
You
had
sure he wasn't there?
No, he wasn't on last week.
Oh, yeah?
I would have seen him. I'm saying who
Okay.
he's on. So yes. So we're talking about happiness and why aren't we happy? And he says some of us it's our bad habits that are causing us not to be happy. And it begins and ends with you, with me. It begins and ends with us, our happiness. As I say, it's up to me to make myself happy. You can enhance my happiness for me, Jessica, if I let you. Because it's all about how you look at it. It says, we talks about having unreasonable timings, and we talk about if you set yourself too much of a high goal and you do not meet it, what that causes not to be happy. The other one it says, why am I not happy? Reason number two, holding a grudge. And tell me which of us, Jester, that have not been in that situation where we hold grudges and we are not letting it go. And it says, focusing on negative events creates unhappy feelings. When taken to the extreme, a grudge can lead to engaging in negative actions to get back at someone. Holding a grudge has been described as drinking poison and expecting your enemy to suffer. Let go of your negative feeling towards others. So you see, I like that. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
It's like taking poison, but waiting for me, the enemy, to suffer. No, they're not suffering. It's you that taking poison.
That's
You're the ones
true.
that are going to die or get sick.
Yeah, and I would always remember that story from Mrs. Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how we were dealing with again, boy? With same grudges and things.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying that she used to be going to the doctor. She used to be feeling that pain.
Right.
And when she goes to the doctor,
You cannot find any
everything is okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was until she make peace with herself and that situation with that person,
Mm-hmm.
and she let go of that, and then she just
She was back to basics.
never forget herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
That and like wow. So you see, when we hold on to things and
Yeah.
we hold on to grudges, we're not harming anybody else but
Yeah.
ourselves.
I think in my formative years, I probably would have been like that for a while, but as they say, age really brings reasoning and truth. And at
Yes.
my stage in life now, age and stage, I can't hold grudges for too long.
Well, you
It
shouldn't
makes no
because
sense,
it makes you a partner
you know?
over time.
You-
Because every time I
Yeah,
see you and I holding a grudge towards you, it is not doing me any good whatsoever. I'm the one that is having the heartache, the headache, the whatever it is. Because when I see you, I want to just be so upset with you and think about the things that you did to me. But I'm the one that is suffering, not you, because you're going about your merry way, not even paying any attention to me at all.
you know, okay, and I usually see some people see me, okay, if I'm by myself and not being around people, they might think, well, this guy is vexed with the world. But for people who like, once they've been around me, the amount of people that tell me I like to laugh.
Yeah,
But like, you know, I like,
I know.
but serious, laughing is a real medicine and shit of.
It is.
Oh,
It's your heart
I'm
attack.
telling you, see,
Because when you laugh, all your muscles in your body, it works together that day.
I honestly just wish I don't have to encounter any problems with nobody in this life.
That is
Believe
impossible.
me, I'm telling you
Yeah,
straight.
this is possible.
Yeah, I like the way I live, to be honest, you know.
I
Yeah.
like the way I live too.
You know, and usually I keep myself very busy, you know, from one to a next to a next. People will tell me I'm involved in doing a lot of things, but I love it that way. I don't have no time for no stupidness.
But
Serious.
I mean, since you started that mental health program with Mora, um, I kind of make you look good. You're being called to do the Anglican 193 years. You get to do
Nothing girl like you. You better stop it.
since you started hanging around with yours truly here. You're become very, I am not saying you were popular. Because you're hanging out with yours truly. I said, wait a minute, he's on a truck on Friday, he's on a whatever yesterday, he's there. And I know you love your sports and you're always into this thing. But all of a sudden, since you started hanging out with me, started hanging out in Take Five together, you have become a lot more popular. I think I'm going to yank your chain up.
I'm trying. Just spoil yourself.
Listen,
People always see the trouble I usually get.
you have to be getting a lot of attention.
You man come out.
What is the good attention you're getting?
You man come out, we should come out and meet me kind of thing, right? You will forget.
Wrong with you now. You're the one that come from this place. Because I don't see, I don't believe me.
I think I'm gonna not just in that situation. But that's my boy. That's my soul. That's my boy.
All the time.
That's my boy.
And not with me, you
So
have become a lot more popular. Right? And you're being demanded. You're in demand. Let's put it that way.
let's put it that way. Because I too and I are so good, I prefer not to say anything.
You can't, but it's not the truth, that's the truth. And nothing but the truth. So that's the truth. Let me say good morning to the horticulturist over there in Mamouche Lane.
Yeah.
So I hope I'll see you soon.
Right, that's true. Yeah. Usually you have some people that really listen to the program, but then sometimes when you meet them certain places, they say, I usually listen to. So for these sort of people,
You
say
have to
thank you very much and a very special good morning to you.
Yes. And I know when people like Ito check in,
Yeah.
because, that means we are connecting.
Yeah.
We're connecting.
I like when people like Ito is there because
Yes.
certain, reference we can make of,
Yeah, then back
going
in the
back.
day. Yes.
According to my partner, Jumbo, checking back in the part which
Which we want. Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
never
we love Ito. We need more of Ito to come, and we need like a small head.
Yeah. My partner Bushi, I don't get Bushi to tune him more. Yeah.
I saw him look up the other day. He's here, I
Oh
think.
yeah. That's Sky.
Yes.
Yeah.
His car, I look up, same difference.
Well, yeah.
I saw him.
That was one.
Yes. So, yes, getting back to it, it says, reason number 3, why am I not happy? Spending too much time in the past or future. And it's not what we're talking about Ito with you. That is the good past.
Yeah.
The past when we were really happy. We shared all kinds of memories that we can remember today and even laugh about it because we were the bomb that come around that time. We had so much fun and good times together. That we can reminisce about it and it brings a smile to our face.
I got
This was pure happiness.
goosebumps, Every time I remember the days when we were practicing for our 23rd December show. This used to be a big thing back then,
Yes.
Yeah.
And all the guys were there and we were singing and enjoying ourselves and one was ended up in jail.
Yeah.
And all this.
I told her before that I feel I just feel. Yeah.
Went prison,
Yeah. I told know about that well.
Oh, yes. These were the good days of the Eagles and we really did have some happy moments and we can relive a lot of them today.
Yes.
As which is part of what makes us who we are as happy people. So it says it's challenging spending too much time in the past or the future. It is challenging to be happy. If you're constantly regretting the past or fearing the future, learn from your past missteps and avoid dwelling on them. Avoid worrying about the future. Worrying honestly does not take away tomorrow's troubles. It just takes away today's peace. A day of worry is more exhausting than a day of actual getting down to the work. Worrying is using your imagination and energy to create something you don't want. Worrying is just a waste of time. It doesn't change anything, but instead messes with your mind and steals your happiness. If you foresee potential challenges ahead, calmly prepare solutions. If you live in the present moment, being happy becomes much easier.
But my thing, Claire, is the dealing with happiness because somebody could bring themselves to a state of unhappiness in a flash.
Yeah, we're gonna come to
My thing is, yeah, I don't know of what you deal with. I don't know what are the recommendations as to how you stay away from or how to get over when you find yourself in such situation. So, for example, somebody may lost a child. A child might
Mhm.
had a death of one of their children or so on at some point in time. Because you never really get over these things
No, you don't.
fully. Because
It's
like me,
time makes
yeah,
it
I lost my mom,
Yes.
and she died pretty young at age 50. You know, when I think I'm 56 now, I remember my mom died at 58.
Mm-hmm.
She died pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes my mind goes back to her. So, which bring you in a state of unhappiness. You know, might be
Wishing
just
that
for about 5 minutes or so. So maybe the professional, how they get you out? What's the best way of getting you out of situation?
we're gonna do
Maybe
that.
I guess that much you may have that. Yeah.
Worry about things that we, they says 40% of the things we worry about never happens in our lives. Never happens. So we put ourselves under undue stress, thinking about things that may never happen. So you have to travel. And I am afraid of flying. You might like flying. And if I say, okay, I'm going back to Toronto next week, and I started to stress myself, well, if the plane fall, and he said,
Yeah.
I cannot stop the plane from falling. I cannot stop the pilot from doing his job. So that is undue stress I'm putting on myself here. So, thinking about all these things. All I have to do is to say, you know what? Buy your ticket, get on the plane, sail on.
But Claire, you're still good. There are some people that this is unavoidable to them, and like this state of anxiety that they have. Some people have to take medication to
Well,
travel and them sort of things. And
well,
when
yes,
it gets like this,
I understand that.
you know.
I was at a stage in my life one time when I I get anxiety attack when I have to travel. I go to the bathroom, I want to throw up, I want to go the other way, and my stomach is going, like things going. I'm feeling like uneasy, like I'm moving out of my body.
Yeah,
I get that
yeah.
feeling that I'm floating because I am afraid of flying. But then I said to myself, to get over your little thing of flying, travel regularly and short distances. So then I used to go to New York a lot. So on a weekend, I just go visit my mom. So I go visit Sonia. So because it takes, I used to not really fly from Toronto because it takes about an hour from Toronto to New York City. So I used to drive, either take the bus to Buffalo or I have them drop me to Buffalo and I fly from Buffalo to. So I did those short flights and I'm like, okay, this is not bad. I could do this. So that has helped me a whole lot in kind of getting over the fear of flying. But I cannot say that I'm cured of it, you understand? But I don't think about it as much anymore. I don't go through because when I look around me and I see everybody's normal, it's like I ain't hung up properly that time too because I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, why is everybody so normal? And I'm having that feeling that I'm floating out of my body because I'm afraid. So these are the things that they're saying that you should not put undue stress on yourself, thinking too much about the past or the future. So if you think about things that happened in the past, it can put a strain on you because you're not letting go of the past. We have to think of things in the past to make us better in the future, but you cannot hold on to the past if you want to get to the future.
But to maintain one happiness too, I am guided by a principle that I have developed more so in recent times, which always at times comes to me and say, just stress yourself not, especially over things that you cannot change or you have no control over. So that voice will come to me and say, just you know what, it is your philosophy, stress yourself not. And that's how I go about it. Because trust me, if you don't develop that kind of thinking and that kind of philosophy, you could put yourself under immense pressure. And then what else? To me, stress is the number one cause of death.
Because
It makes sense.
I just said stress is a killer. I hate flying, but love to travel.
I know what it means when it says that.
And you're in itself.
No, I know exactly what it means. I love to be.
Looking at another place.
Yes,
If
yeah.
you can conquer Zoom and I'm there.
No, I don't.
Supersonic one. And then a flash, it could take an hour from here to France. Because but they got rid of the Concorde.
Clear. I telling you, you probably heard me say that already before, and it has to do with traveling. Whenever I have to travel, I wish I do not have to hear what is air hostess and them that have to be coming and tell me before that plane take off.
I got you. Yeah, but it's important that you hear it. You know that, right?
I think it's flying 30,000 feet above sea level. Anything happen up there? You know?
It is important that you listen. And when I'm on the plane, because I'm kind of afraid to fly as it is already still, and the flight attendants is saying how to do your seatbelt. I mean, it's common knowledge that everybody has to do their seatbelt. When you're talking about when your oxygen mask drop, put it on first before you can help somebody. And people going, to show me, sister, I don't want to just shift it.
Yeah, I don't.
Shift it because, what he's saying is important because it's not every time that your floating device is under your seat. You know that, right?
Correct.
Sometimes your floating device is your seat. So you have to pull your seat out in case of an emergency. That's where your thing, not under the seat where they say you put down, you pull your vest down and you go here, or you pull it down here. I know all the things because I listen all the time and I follow because
So you see, that's the
Mama
difference.
Fred is here.
That's the difference with me because I always
No,
tell
you have
myself,
to,
anything happen up there, forget it. I just
No, because you see, you
that's
can't
all.
be on. Okay, so put it this way, Jester. You're an electrician, and you're going to put up something for me, like you have to put up my generator phone, and you just take it and you just plug it on without pouring the oil in it first. Now, these are the things that you have to read the manual. You have to understand what you're doing before you can do it. So it's the same as when you're flying. The flight attendants have the right to tell you what it is that you have to do. And it's your
But just doesn't want to
right
hear
to
them.
listen.
I say I just doesn't want to hear
Well, you
them.
don't want to hear that, but you're going to listen. You're going to listen because it's people like you. When something when the plane go boom, you start to get up and start to ball and all of a sudden you did not pay attention. I'm a ball too, but a ball in my sleep. So can make sure I put on my oxygen mask if it drops. Because you see, a lot of people sometimes again when they say to you, it is important that you keep your seatbelt on when sitting, even though the pilot turn it up. You know why? Because you can hit turbulence at any given moment. And guess what? When you hit it, you fly up in the air, you break your neck. So I, for one, Miss Fred here, if I don't have to go to the bathroom, even though they turn on the seatbelt, like seatbelt is securely fastened around me because I don't want to be flying anywhere. I don't get whiplash from the jump and so and the plane. So they have a clear idea of where they're going and if they're going to hit turbulence, but sometimes air pockets they just hit it and that's it. So all the people that are flying or planning to fly, make sure you keep your seatbelts on at all times, even though the seatbelt sign is off. The one that love to travel but don't like to fly, I hope you're keeping your seatbelt on because, hey, I want your room to make souvenirs for the rest of our lives until we get a chance to go. Let me say good morning again to Chance Game 97 and to your dear wife, Anne Marie. I hope you're going to have a great day at work today. And I'm not sure if Spystrong is listening, if Mama is listening. PJ, good morning to you also. Grants, good morning. We have a lot of people that kind of listen to us, but they don't call.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All you unhappy people, you could call. We could make you happy this morning. If you're happy, call us and tell us what makes you tick, what keeps you happy, and how you can make the people around you feel a bit better about themselves.
Okay, Claire, the happiness. You remember that guy that sang that song about
Don't
be
worry,
happy?
be happy.
They say he had committed suicide. Is that so?
What's his name again?
Is that true?
I don't know. I never heard if he committed suicide.
I think I
Don't
heard that.
worry,
I'm not sure.
be happy.
Yeah.
I know his name. I can't remember it now. But you see the thing about it. One person said to me before that when you see people are extremely happy, these are the ones that you have to be looking out for because they mask their unhappiness by putting out a happy front.
Okay. Okay.
So they have more mental issues than the mental people themselves. But they use that as a guide to their life to make people think that everything is okay. If you listen to a lot of the comedians that make people laugh, Most of them are depressed beyond.
Mm-hmm.
They are unhappy people. But their thing in life is to make you and I feel happy, and in turn, they feel a little sense of happiness. I can tell you, Jim Carrey says that he's a very unhappy person. He went up to the mountain to see if he find whoever up there. He lives up there. He comes back down every now and again. And there are a lot of people, and he's a comedian. And the things he'll say, when you look at his movie and the mask, you ever see the mask?
No.
Oh my gosh, if you look at that movie, you're laughing till you're crying. But, this is the happiness he brings to us. But that doesn't mean that he is a happy person. So happiness doesn't always be the person that is
Not
in your
portrayed.
face and portray the
Okay.
thing. I could be quietly happy. You could be quietly happy. You don't have to spread it out there for everybody
Yeah.
to know that you are happy. So this is what it is. It says here, and it says when you use your imagination and energy to create something that you don't want, this is creating problems for you. Like you using all your strength and your stress in here, telling yourself that I have to do this and I'm worrying about it. Quit. Stop it. It's not getting you anywhere. They said worry is like a rocking chair. It keeps on rocking and rocking and rocking, but takes you nowhere. So always remember that when you start to worry and you start to stress, think about that rocking chair that is not taking you anywhere. It's just going back and forth. Like when a mother has a fussing baby, she sits on that rocking chair, she breastfeeds that baby, and she rocks back and forth so that baby can go back to sleep in a relaxed mood. That is what worry is to a rocking chair. So it says, why am I not happy? Reason number 4, embracing a victim mentality. And you know what a victim mentality is?
No. Enlighten me, please.
You are the victim. Everybody is at you. Everybody's coming at you. You become the victim of stress or victim of somebody not liking you. Everything you're not taking responsibility for your own thing. You become the victim. That's what you said. It's common to search for excuses for our negative experiences. We often try to justify staying in our current circumstances. You may very well be the victim of some unfortunate situation, but it is your responsibility to work your way out of it. Taking responsibility for the happenings in your life is powerful. Countless individuals have overcome incredible odds. You can certainly be among them. So you see the victim part of it. You always try to say that somebody wants to take advantage of you. So somebody is doing this to you and somebody is doing that to you. That is the victim part of it. We'll take a quick commercial break and we shall be right back. Why is the thing not playing now, Jester? I don't know what's going on with this thing this morning.
With CJ and Jester.
Are you looking for that one local supermarket where you can purchase all your grocery and household items at the same time? Well, look no further. Smart Buy SA Belfon and Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, and 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Snack Buy.
At Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473 418
Saturday, February 8th, 2025. Grenada, get ready as Idol City Sports presents its 5th annual Football Under the Lights, the annual night football competition. Roses Plainfield, St. Patrick.
One of the match drugs, any money now, you can cash out for hands.
$20,000 up for grabs. And the first place winner of the senior team will receive $4,000. Under 17, $1,500. Second place, $3,000. Under 17, $1,000. Plus, you can win individual prizes. Football under the lights, which run from Saturday, February 8th until Saturday, May 3rd. And all teams will be coming up against the Roselle football team, the defending champion. Registration fee for senior teams, $400. And under 17, you enter free. All teams will be able to register 20 players. And all players' uniform must be numbered. No unauthorized vending. To register, contact 538-7509 or 406-9580. One game will be played on weekdays and 2 games on the weekends. Game kicks off from 7 p.m. Kicks off Saturday, February 8th and ends on the 3rd of May, 2025. Idol Cities Football under the light at Roselle Plainfield in St. Patrick.
Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
We are back to talk about why am I not happy or why are you not happy? And you know the number is still 404-1189. Please call us. We need when you call us to know that you're hearing and you're interacting with us. Don't let me and Jester keep doing all the talking. We need to hear you, what your opinions are, and so I told you give us a call. It's free on WhatsApp, 1473-404-1189. Chance to claim 97. You can give us a call also and let me know why you're happy because I know to myself that you are a happy camper. We talk and I can hear it in your voice. And I don't think you are one of those that come and you bring yourself out there, you put yourself out there, make everybody think that, oh, look at me, I'm so happy. The people that does that, we know to them, to ourselves, that they're just putting up a front to say that they're happy. So, victim mentality, Jester. It says, as Steve Maraboli says, your complaints, your drama, your victim mentality, your whining, your blaming, and all of your excuses have never gotten you even a single step closer to your goals or dreams. Let go of your nonsense. Let go of the delusion that you deserve better and go earn it. I'm going to read it again because I think that is a very, very powerful one. It says, your complaints, your drama, your victim mentality, your whining, your blaming, and all of your excuses have never gotten you even a single step closer to your goals or dreams. Let go of your nonsense. Let go of the delusion that you deserve better and go earn it. So this is the victim mentality what they're talking about. The problem that we have with a victim mentality is that we forget to see the blessings of the day. Because of this, our spirit is poisoned instead of nourished. I think he is so right. He hit it smack bam on the head.
Yeah.
And that's what we make ourselves victims because we complain about everything. The victim, we have more drama and all that. Everybody's out to get us. Everybody is doing this. People will never see what's going on around us because it says, what? We forget to see the blessings of the day. And then we poison ourselves. We don't even let ourselves be nourished by what is out there right in our face because we're playing the victim card.
Yeah, you know, some people hold on to the wrong thing or the wrong concept, right, of trying to get to where they would like to.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And that is exactly in a nutshell to me the point the person is bringing across. But you got to let go of what is holding you back from wanting to get to what you want to achieve.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, The thing is just that some of us, we don't even know how to let it go or what we're letting go. Because sometimes we don't even have anything that is really bothering us. We our habits or ways that is holding us back. And if we just switch from being grumpy old man and woman or stop being envious of the people around us and so, that could help us to be better people and happier people. Let it go. That's what I say. Stop the nonsense. Let it go. Because you to yourself, you just start thinking, well, I have this, and as it says, go earn it. If you earn it, then you'll feel better about yourself than somebody's giving it to you.
Yeah, you have a better appreciation for when you work hard and to achieve something. And yeah, in so doing, you cherish it better or more.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, you take more pride in having it around you. That's why some children who inherit things,
Oh, blow it just like
you know, it usually happens, Claire? Yeah,
it's gone. And that's why I say it is important for we as parents, if we can afford it, to give your children a startup, but not their whole life, a startup, so that they can continue doing it for themselves if they want to. But I look at children, I've seen children that their parents left something for them in a will, the inheritance, and because they didn't work for it, they had no appreciation for it, it just gone like the wind. Funny enough, I was looking at something the other day, and that thing popped up on my phone about an African man and his wife, and they had a little boy. And well, they're rich, they're hard work. And another little boy was walking around the road selling his watermelon, to maybe to get money to go to school or so. The son of the rich couple leaned out of his car window and slammed down the other guy's watermelon, threw it on the ground and everything. Guy started to cry, but the mother saw. So they stopped the car and she went back to him and she said, who did that? What happened? She said, the boy in the car did that. So the father stopped the car and he came back. And she said, look at what he did. You know, the son said, don't you see he's a poor boy? He's selling watermelon. So the mother was so upset with him. She says, you cannot do this. She gave the little boy the money that she had and he said, mom, that. She said, take it. But what was very interesting for me, the father of the little boy says, oh, my son is rich. We're rich. He owns everybody in this village here. He can do whatever he wants.
oh yeah,
Oh yes, he can do whatever he wants. And he go on and on. You can't tell me anything. And he's standing there and he's gloating and then he shut his tongue out for the little boy after.
mm.
His mother said to the father, she says, what you're doing to him, you're going to regret it later. Oh, I'm not going
Of
to regret
course.
anything because he's my son. He's my only son. And the rich and he said, years later, when you know it, years later, the same son that grew up to be a big man was misbehaving with like you have no idea. He sold his father's car, he sold his father's house, he sold his father, they had another house. The last one that the father was staying, he came to sell that to one, the last part. And he said, my son, I gave you everything. How do I want to hear? I'm the heir of this thing. I am going to sell it. If you know what I said to him? If your mother was around to hear the things that she warned me. So you see, when we as parents have no reason for our children, and we think that what we are doing is happiness for them. Later on, it turns back to bite us. They say karma
yes.
is a beautiful individual that creates havoc.
Yeah,
And we have to be careful how we define happiness in family also.
yeah, so right about that. Can't train children in such a way. No, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the other one. Why am I not happy? Question number 5. Comparing yourself to others. And that is a big thing we do, Jester. We all do that at some point in our life, we compare. And that's why they said that if you have 3 children, they're all different. Do not compare John to Joe to Mary. Because they're all are different individuals. They all think differently. So it says, avoid comparing yourself to others. If you want to make a comparison, compare yourself to your recent past. So compare yourself to you. Are you heading in a positive direction? If so, you probably have a good reason to be excited. If not, it's time to get busy making some changes. Don't compare your life to others. There is no comparison between the sun and the moon. They both shine when it's their time. Your story is unique and different. It's not worthy of comparison. You should also not compare your situation to others because you don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
Let me tell
I
you
think
something.
that is sound advice.
Anybody that is living the life in comparison as to how someone else is living his or her life, that person will never be happy. I could tell you that. I mean, I could just feel that. You would always find yourself under immense pressure. And it happens in different ways. You know, sometimes they could be doing it with, let's say, maybe a child of the neighbor. Like I may have a child and the neighbor has a child, and probably whatever they see that the neighbor's child has, they will go by any means and try to, to provide them with that as well too. That too is a form of comparison where human beings are involved. And it's a dangerous ploy. It will put you under tremendous pressure. You will never tend to be happy. So my advice, anybody what just even thinking about that, don't even think about going on the road. Serious. No. It's not a good road to
Do
walk.
not compare.
No, no,
Always
at all.
say do not compare because you do not know what the person is thinking, how they're thinking, how they get to the junction that they're at. So for you to start comparing, like I start comparing myself to you, it's wrong. As it says, you could not compare the sun to the moon. They're both different. They both shine when it's their time. We have the sun in the day and we have the moon at night. What they say again? The sun does not shine by day, nor the moon at night. There's a song like that. So they
Yeah.
have the time to make their play. And you should do the same thing too.
But for example, me, that would be something very, very difficult for me to follow, because I kind of like to be unique and be different I wouldn't want to have exactly probably what that person has. No, I want to be a bit different.
Different.
Yeah, yeah,
It's good.
yeah,
Because
of
you're
course.
thinking you're using your own faculty
Yeah,
to get things done instead of piggybacking. You know, there's some people, some of us are blessed with thinking with unique things. You can plan things and execute things. And there are those of us who have to see somebody else with something for the idea to come to them, right? There is no wrong here. But what is bad is when you see what I have and you take the exact thing that
yeah,
I have and go do it in your realm, in your place, in your thing. I think that is wrong. That means that you have nothing in you to expand
yeah,
your thinking ability, no creativity in you.
yeah,
And that again is comparison because
yeah,
when I come to you and I say, well, just somebody say, oh, just go by play and I saw that. How come you have that in you? So that you're not thinking, you don't have that thinking ability
yeah.
to create something for
You
yourself.
limit yourself of,
Yes. So we should
of
not. Yes. So
creating that kind of, initiative in you, man. Yeah.
so he says, as he says, your story is unique and different. It's not worthy of comparison. So every one of us has a story to tell. It's how well we tell that story that makes a difference in my life, your life, and the happiness that we create in it. As I said, I am responsible for my happiness. You are responsible for your happiness. But I can enhance it and you can enhance mine. But you cannot make me happy. I've got to do that on my own.
Okay, what do we say to people out there? Yeah, some people out there who are trying their best to live a happy life. And for example, they may have a neighbor that is really, really getting under the skin.
Take on the neighbor. That's all. Take on the people.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes we got to ask for some scenarios and certain topics that we discuss.
Well,
We
I
bring,
want the call us at
you know what I'm saying?
401 because
Yes.
there's a lot of people that are on the line right now. I know they've been through different things in their lives that they live through close to neighbors. They have friends, they have enemies, they have all kinds of people around them that they go through different things. And you don't have to be afraid to, you don't even call, we won't call the name and say who is calling. We're going to only take the call and you tell us what it is. Because Every one of us goes through some sort of things in our life like that. Everyone. You tell yourself that you have a good friend and that friend is happy for you. And that's another kind of happiness again. You tell your friend that your friend is happy, but until you get onto the nitty gritty of them, you see the friend didn't have your back in any way or form because they do not want to see you happy.
Yeah,
And other people don't want to see you happy.
why would somebody go out of the way to deliberately make someone be unhappy and to make their life miserable?
Let me tell you what it is. Lack of self-esteem and self-respect.
On the person that is creating its part, well, yeah.
A few years ago, 2003, a paper by psychologist Roy Bonist rocked the science world titled, Does High Self-Esteem Cause Better Performance, Interpersonal Success, Happiness, or Healthier Lifestyles? It presented the idea supported by research that self-esteem and happiness are linked. Get it?
Yes.
Specifically, high self-esteem leads to greater happiness. In addition, according to the famous American author and speaker Gary Vaynerchuk, the main reason people are unhappy is because they lack self-respect. That is, they value others' opinion above their own. Of course, it makes sense, and surely it rings true with many of us too. So if you want to be happy and you want to have a better you, a better self, think for yourself. Use the brain that God gave to you to think. He gave us thinking ability, each and every one of us got thinking ability. He gave us the ability to make choices in our lives. And we cannot sit there and say to ourselves, well, I can't think for myself. Let me go ask Jester what to think. Jester is going to tell me what causes him to be, what causes him to, what going to make him happy? Not going to make me happy. It's what making him happy. So he's going to feed me his baloney.
Yes, I'll give you my version.
Yes. And I am going to take it and say, okay, Jester said that to me. Jester would mess me up. But Jester gave me his thing. So that's why we have our own choices in life to make it better or worse for us. We got to think about what it is that we want. And self-esteem. Like I always say, and you always hear me say that, I'm 5'5", 5.5 inches tall. But no one can stop me from walking at 6 feet tall.
Oh my gosh.
No one can stop me from walking because you see, I've got thinking ability. I can think for myself. I'm supposed to know what is right for me, what is wrong about the things that I'm doing.
Especially when you put on that boots that reach up.
Yes, my boots. I walk my boots have this shortish heel, but I walk 6 feet tall. Because you see, when you have respect for yourself and you do not give it up, once you give up your respect to someone else, you lost it in.
Like what I saw you Friday, that felt that did you share it?
What? If I did what?
Did you share it, Tom?
No, my hat. Let me tell you.
Gosh.
Let me respond to Spice Run. You see, let me tell you. I went to Cuba. And I bought my felt hat in Cuba. I left a piece of me in Cuba that I'm going to go and pick up sometime later on. Yeah, I left a piece of me in Cuba. Because when I think about what the people of Cuba went through, what they're still going through, and they can still be happy, I have all respect for them, to be quite honest. There's the time that we stayed there, it was a week too short because I was really enjoying Cuba because you get to know the history and but when they see you, Buenos Dias, Buenos Aires, and the word just you felt like you belonged there. And so I bought a few little things from Cuba. I bought a baseball bat that I have my name and my CJ engraved on from Cuba. I got my felt, and I even had a dress that was knitted while I was in Cuba for me. So it's a place that I know I'll go back.
And you bring back some black
Black
tears.
tears.
Yeah, black tears.
So black tears. I took some of the black tears to Mr. Antoine a couple weeks ago because I told him, he said, "So how come you didn't bring a teaspoon?" I said, "It's a special bottle. I am not giving anybody." I said, "But I can bring it and let you have just a little wave of it, just give you a little taste." And he said to me, it's really good. It's soft. But it doesn't. I don't know if it makes you cry at night or when you're because as Joe said to me, Joe says, amiga, when you're drinking it, you gotta put it in some coffee and you just sit and you sip. I said, "But Joe, I don't drink coffee." He said, "What do you drink?" I said, "Maybe tea." So you can drop some in tea. But you got a bottle, so you could tell
Yes,
what it is.
it's the taste is, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you, I will go back to Cuba. I don't know when, and it won't be not too far away because I have to go back and delve into what makes the people of Cuba tick because they are a happy bunch of people. And one thing I said
I would love to go to Cuba too.
yeah,
Hearing about them and when nothing waste because of the embargo that been placed on them. How much remember what I was
that's
saying?
what made me
Yeah.
really felt the way I feel because they are going through embargo and so. But
Yeah.
the thing is, they make what they have do in the country.
Yeah, they say nothing goes to waste in Cuba. Nothing
Nothing,
goes to waste.
and my heart goes off to them. I said, my heart here goes up to them, so that hat and it's everybody in Cuba wears that little felt hat, that little sombrero thing, So I bought the hat, and Friday was the first day I wore it.
And look, we in an era now where more pressure has been looked to place on Cuba, especially from the American.
Something.
This is just.
I was talking to Nan this morning, and she says Mia Motley said she's prepared to give up her visa, her American visa, and give up Cuba. Because during the COVID, Cuba stepped up for us in the Caribbean with the vaccine and everything like that. The doctors are so selfless in the care about the people, about people.
Of course, I believe Caribbean leaders really need to take a stand because what Cuba has contributed towards the development of our Caribbean islands. I mean, come on, we cannot let down the Cuban nation like that. We have ties from way back, and we have to put Trump in his place with his foolish kind of idea with what he has there. Who the stupidness with Donald Trump?
I don't know what the stupidness is. I never see myself. But I'm saying, I think I will go on record and say that I think Cuba has the best doctors worldwide, besides those in Europe. But
yes, when it comes to healthcare,
I think they.
As a matter of fact, I remember because I was told that by people who study in Cuba, Americans used to be leaving certain states in America, go through the Bahamas and then go across to Cuba. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. So
Yeah.
but you see the thing about it, we have to know what makes us who we are. And if this is part of happiness to you, because if you're not happy in your skin and in your community that you're in, it's going to show. It's going to really show. Because if you don't get the healthcare that you need to survive, to make you well, you are going to be unhappy. If you cannot go to a doctor for the to say, well, you are going through this and this is what you need, you are going to be unhappy because you don't have the money. So happiness, like you say, covers a wide range of things.
Oh yes.
And if you lack self-esteem and self-respect, a lot of us that do not have respect for ourselves or for anybody else, we think at the time that we're doing what we're doing that we are okay and we do not care a flying fig what anybody else thinks. But that is a lie. Because when you go home and you think about the backlash that you got or the backlash that you face while you were doing what you were doing, you're not happy. Because every time you step out, you're thinking about, I wonder who saw what I did, who knew what I did, and you're unhappy.
So once you're in a civilization, once you're living in a society, happiness comes in so much different forms, and so one might think you could have the world of money and really not be happy.
Money doesn't make anybody happy.
that,
That's a mantra that has been repeated over and over and over again. Case in point, Steve Jobs that founded Apple. He had money more than money, right? King Hussein of Jordan, more money than money. As they say, were they happy people? They got sick. Their money couldn't save them from going to great beyond. And when you have all this money, Jester, you worry about your family, you worry about the things that you have, the material things that you have. Who's going to come out and rob you? Who's going to kidnap your children and you have to pay ransom to them? Can you be happy? Can you go and sleep in your bed like so I just throw myself on Queen Victoria and just say good night? But I say my prayers good night and I'm gone? No, because you have so much pressure. Money doesn't make you can buy everything that you want materially with money. Can you buy back your life when you're going through certain things? Can you?
of course not. That's an obvious answer.
And that's where the happiness lies. Because everybody, as he said, is striving for happiness. But it is elusive for the majority of us. And you see, I would continue to say that I'm a happy camper because there's not a lot of in life that I want or desire. If you catch my drift.
Yeah.
But there's not I have food on most days, of all days. I've got clothing, I've got shelter. The three basic things that we need in our life, I've got it. And the majority of us have it. Food, clothing, and shelter. And even though you're in a place where you don't have enough food, somebody's still going to stretch hand to you and feed you somewhere along your line so you don't starve to death. And even though you see people around here, around Grenada, that is homeless or we call them homeless, most of them have places to go home to, but their mental state is causing them to be on the street and so, but they're not, how you call them, to us for way, because we still give them money when they ask. So if you follow these three basic God-given things, your food, clothing, and shelter, you cannot go wrong, you cannot be unhappy. It's because we want too much. This is where our unhappiness comes through. Because we cannot get what we tell ourselves that we want. And when we want so much of it, we stress ourselves to make it happen. And when it doesn't happen, you know what happens after? Our mental health gets affected.
But
So before walking, please. I
but
can't believe that,
there are some people out there, for people that are not happy, it fills me sometimes. So sometimes, for example, there are some men that come from work and you realize they don't go home not until they may come home, leave home sometime all the way 6 after 6 to get to the job, and they didn't reach home not until about 12. And it's because they are avoiding being in the home while other family members are up, because life for them, is so uncomfortable in the home. And sometimes they have to drink the rum by the rum shop and, to tie the mask to get home. Situations like that, Claire, that is really, really sad.
As I said earlier,
Some instances.
that's what you said, eh?
Yeah.
But as I said earlier, the God that we all serve made us with choices. He gave us option. You do not have to go to the rum shop and drink yourself into oblivion to go home and create havoc for your family. You don't have to do that. We choose a lot of things in our lives that makes us unhappy.
Because sometimes in some instances, for them, maybe that's the best way to deal with it, because okay, they may be into a marriage, they can't really leave the home at that stage, because you all know when you have to go through divorce, it could come out the loser big time. So sometimes that way they have to just grind with the situation. It's not that easy, I'm telling you.
You see, I saw a bumper sticker that says, my wife's a housekeeper with divorce, she kept the house.
Yeah?
Did you get it?
No, say it again.
My wife is a good housekeeper.
Yeah, okay.
We got divorced, she kept the house.
All right, yeah.
So,
You know,
okay, let's say I'm in a miserable marriage, right? And I look up and down and I look across, I look all over, I did all my assessment. And I tell myself, well, I don't know if I could live in this situation. But I don't think anything could make me go in a rum shop and sit and drink myself into oblivion because I lose all hope. And it's because you lose all you see this thing about you lack self-esteem and you lack self-respect. If you had those two, you would have climbed out of whatever situation you're in. We cause ourselves to be in things that makes us unhappy, because I know for one, you don't have to stay in things that does not make you happy. Because it does not make the situation better forever who you are around. So it's either you make a clean break, you stay and you work it out, go to therapy, also. And again, a lot of us that are in relationship and we are not happy, it's because we refuse. We tell ourselves that we don't want to go to talk to anybody else, we're okay on our own, but we are not. And this is causing chaos for the family to be happy. Or the party, you don't turn any just two of you all things, double income, no kids. And you're there, but you're unhappy in that relationship. So self-respect, self-esteem, it plays a whole part in our happiness. And when we do that, we can get over it. As they say, build a bridge and get over it. You cannot stay on that and look up and we say, no, I wish I could get to the top. Time! Find something and climb out of it. The next one, Jester, is personality. Let's take a quick break and we shall be back. And then we'll tackle because we're coming down to the wire.
Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. CJ and Jester. Are you looking for that blogs? So that one moves to market where you can purchase all the grocery and household items at the same time? Well, look further. Smart Buy SA Belfast and Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, and 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Snack Bar.
At Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473-418.
Saturday, February 8th, 2025. Grenada, get ready as Idol City Sports presents its 5th annual football fights, the annual night football competition. Roses Field, St. Patrick.
One of the match drugs, any money now, you get yourself a hand.
$20,000 up for grabs. Yeah. And the first place winner of the senior team will receive $4,000. Under 17, $1,500. Second place, $3,000. Under 17, $1,000. Plus, you can win individual prizes. Football on the lights, which run from Saturday, February 8th until Saturday, May 3rd. And all teams will be coming up against the Roses football team. To be defending champion. Registration fees for senior teams, $400. And under 17, you enter free. All teams will be able to register 20 players. And all players' uniform must be numbered. No unauthorized vending. To register, contact 538-7509 or 406-9580. One game will be played on weekdays and 2 games on the weekends. Game kicks off from 7 p.m. Kicks off Saturday, February 8th and ends on the 3rd of May, 2025. Idol Cities football on the light at Rosal Field in St. Patrick.
Welcome to Take 5, Your mental health program with CJ and Jester. CJ and Jester.
So, I think Pastor Carson said mic set if you know, so I'm going to just send a message and let me know if it's better because I just need a little bit of adjustment on its fashion. And then we have real people checking up on us when we are doing our thing, eh? So we're good. So now we're going to talk about personality, Jester. And what do you think personality is? If somebody say, I don't like that for your personality, what do they mean by that?
Well, my meaning of personality is what comes from that person, how they conduct themselves, the way they relate to others, personality, what you give out, what comes from you as a person.
That's true. So what it's saying here, personality, is linked to the above as a linked to the above is the other hindrance of becoming relentlessly upbeat, which may prove slightly challenging to overcome, if even possible, your personality. So it's linked to self-esteem and self-respect. Because if you don't have that, then you really have nothing. Of course, not for the self-help industry, which thrives on the assumption that you can, with your own willpower, become a different person altogether, namely, a much better version of the current you. But what the wise man also tells us is that you are either born to be a silver lining kind of person or you are not. You can, of course, work on yourself to start seeing the glass half full instead of half empty. But you may never reach the gregariousness of someone who is just born with a more carefree temperament. I'm not people like me. My glass is always half full. I never let it be empty. Always half full. So this is personality. We have a call. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Jester. And good morning.
Good morning
How's
to you, Miss
everybody
Bain.
doing today?
We're good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I generally agree with the statement that happiness is a conscious choice. So we can choose to be happy. But I was thinking about the people that suffer with like mental illnesses. Because to be happy, that would maybe a struggle for them. Because remember that their mindset is different. So for those people, I'm thinking that the people around them, we have to acknowledge their experiences because if we tell them that happiness is a choice, I think we're making it worse for them because they're struggling to be happy. So instead, for those kind of people, I think we have to offer them hope. Things will get better and love, and I think that will be more effective in getting them to achieve that goal of being happy. And another thing I'm thinking that you have to be motivated to be happy. Get up every day, make a conscious choice. I'm going to be happy today. And if we are motivated, then we would put into practice the steps that can lead to happiness. So while it's a general statement, it's a choice. I think that for some people, they would struggle with being happy. So have a good day.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. But she has a point.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Because what about that are mentally disabled? We look at able-bodied people, but we are mentally disabled. Because there are a lot of things that we cannot wrap our head around to get over it.
Very valuable point.
Yes.
It's just that we've been saying from a general sense,
So here the other one. Why am I not happy? Because we are failing to learn from failure. Failure is rarely enjoyable, but it can be a useful experience. Learn from your failures and apply the knowledge to your future attempts. Failure can be a great tool for moving towards success. Repeating the same errors will provide the same results. View failure as a learning opportunity. Failure should be our teacher, not our undertaker. Failure is delay, not defeat. It is a temporary detour, not a dead end. Never let success get to your head or failure get to your heart. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. I like that whole part of failure and success. It is not a dead end. It is a temporary detour. It's like when you're doing the roads around around here, they put a detour. You go into River Sally, you have to go around Copeland to get there. It is not permanent because they're doing road work, but it's a detour. So this is what failure is. You have to take the opportunity.
Feel.
Yeah.
I feel,
An opportunity.
which failure come from the word feel, or feel come from the word failure. Feel to me, they say it's first attempt in learning.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. So you don't let it kill everything. Don't let it be a buzzkill. If you fail the first time, as it says, try and try again until you succeed at once. So even though you fail, you think every child that's walking right now, including you and I, just got up and walked? Some did. Others crawled, they dragged on the buttocks, they hold a table and walk around. Some got assistance because their parents buy them that little walker thing to walk. But we all tried and failed, and then we got up again and we go at it and succeed. So we cannot let that stop us. The other one is a lack of gratitude. Things are really as bad as they seem. Regularly reminding yourself of this can demonstrate that your life might be more wonderful than you realize. Use spare moments to mentally list the things that fill you with feeling of gratitude. It will allow happiness to enter your life. Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is a foundation for all abundance. That couldn't have been more clear. You have to learn to be grateful. When someone does something for you out of the goodness of their heart, as they say, show gratitude.
Gratitude is a blessing in itself.
It is the health of all human emotions.
Yes. I always try to be
Grateful.
I'm a grateful person to God Almighty all the time, and for those that would have one way or the other contributed towards my development and success in my life. So it's gratitude is very, very important. But there are some people that does not exercise gratitude at all.
I know.
In fact, it's like damming the bridge they have crossed. And that's a dangerous thing to do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we're coming on to the it's 8 minutes to the hour 12 o'clock, and we're gonna be off from reads and we're gonna be off from thing, but we can still go to YouTube and finish this so that we can just finish our program because we had some technical difficulties. Unless you have to run, do you have to run? I'm asking you, do you have to run?
You got to run. Always have to run, you know that?
But then you could walk today.
What?
Mm-hmm. So it says, why am I not happy? Settling for low standards. It's possible to become comfortable with poor results. On one hand, you might be unhappy with where you are. On the other hand, trying for more seems scary. You are unique and capable. You can have a wonderful life. Increase your expectations. There is no reason to settle for less. Set high standards for yourself and don't settle for anything else. You are the best judge of yourself and your capabilities. Set high standards and few limitations for yourself. So if you want to succeed in this life that we have, Jester, we have to set some sort of standard and work towards it. If you set the bar so low and every time you pass, you trip and you fall, there's no standard there because you're already hitting bottom. But if you set it a bit higher, set your bar a bit higher, then you have something to look forward to get where you want to go. And you got to be disciplined and determined to do that.
And of course, I think that is very obvious. You must set certain standards, certain goals, and try to work towards them to achieve, Yeah.
Here it goes here. Addiction to unhappiness. Apparently, you can also develop an addiction to unhappiness. And when I saw that, I said, what? This is some people like negative feelings and are happy to be unhappy, rather disturbing. Indeed.
They are happy to be unhappy.
They're happy to be unhappy. So that you can always complain, oh, woe is me.
Mm.
This is that thing. I ain't getting to this and I ain't getting to that. Because people are listening to them. So they are happy to be unhappy. Knock it off. No, because you see, as we always say, when you complain, nobody's listening.
Yeah.
So get over that unhappy feeling and be happy with yourself. Set your bar a little higher and start working towards it. Unexplainable reasons, or sometimes you just can't put your finger on one thing, or on anything for this matter. You don't know for sure what makes you feel unhappy, nor what will make you happy. It feels like everything, your whole life is a mess. But that's not the end of the story. The most important question you should be asking yourself, why? What's the cause of my happiness? Because you can fix it, because you can fix it when you don't know what is broken, right? Because if you don't know what caused you to be unhappy,
Yeah.
how can you go at it to fix what you don't know? So you have to have some sort of things in your life to let you know what is causing you to be unhappy. I am going to stick myself off the camera for a moment because I'm sweating buckets to just wipe that shine off my face. I feel like I'll get fracking oil from my face this morning. And then you're still shining like glass, Jester.
But how can somebody not tell what is causing them not to be happy?
I don't know. Because sometimes you see when we go so far into the unhappy feeling, to get out of it, it's a number of things that causes us to be unhappy. So you have to start with the core of where you began not feeling happy. Is it you lost someone? Is it you had a relationship that went south? Is it that your children is not living up to the standards that you set for them? Is it that you don't have the amount of money that you want? It's a lot of things. So you have to find what it is that causes you not to be happy in the first place. And once you start delving into that, then you'll start to begin to know what is causing that to happen to you. So it says 5 steps to figure out why. So if you tick most of the symptoms above, it's likely you are not living in your dreamland right now. Here's my advice on how to find your lumps in the batter. You know, the lump when you're making cake and that lump sit there and the flour and the sugar and the butter clump together, that is the lump. It says mull over what happy means to you. Happiness can take different shapes. Hedonic pleasure, life satisfaction, desired fulfillment, all of these separately or together can deliver to us sprinkles of joy. Revisit your expectations. As I already mentioned, unreasonable expectations you or others have set for yourself can be deterring you from feeling gleeful. For one thing, aspirations often become outdated. What you wanted 10 or 5 years ago, or even 6 months ago, may not be relevant to your situation today and will need to be filed into a mental cabinet. And that is true. Things that you want to do, like you want to do last month, that's no longer the priority for you. So you file that away and you move on to something else. Another issue is that our culture is putting an exponential pressure on all of us to perform more and better, to try and stretch the 24 hours a day into 30, to chase kudos and recognition. Any outcome that has earned less than the goal is punishable by exclusion for the poor crowd, by receiving less in perks, bonuses, and appreciation either. As a result, anxiety, depression, and all the dark friends start creeping out into our minds and tint everything else that may be giving us joy and satisfaction. So taking periodic audit of your expectations, the validity and importance placed on your happiness list is pivotal to stopping unhappiness spread into your life. So you see all the pressures we have of being the best we can be. You know, looking for recognition from what we're doing. Everybody say kudos to Jester for what he's doing. All that put pressure on you to do this thing, and that causes you to lose your mojo. So you have to find that in yourself. It says, examine your way of thinking. At the heart of the so-called rational emotive behavior therapy, this REBT, which was established by the American psychologist Albert Ellis in 1956, is the idea that it is never the actual event that upsets us. You get that, eh?
Say that again.
It is not it was established that it is the idea that is never the actual event that upsets us. So if you're wearing your blue and white polka dot short and you say, oh, I hate that shirt, it is not the shirt that is the cause of your issue. The shirt may trigger something in you that causes the issue. It says our interpretation and thoughts about it. By inference, changing our thoughts, we reduce and hopefully remove altogether our anxiety. So sometimes you're in a relationship and you have a black shoes. It is not the black shoes that is causing the relationship to go south, but the husband or the wife is going to use that black shoes to say, that black shoes is sweating me, you always dirty, you wear a buy a new one. But it's not the shoes. It is not the shoes.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah, I get it.
Right. Says mental cleansing, and I think this one is really important. Mental health is in the limelight quite often these days, and rightly so. The way we care about our bodies and minds directly links to many of our lives' outcomes. Mental clutter can become a well-being stumbling block. Overthinking, old grudges, past events can all make it very challenging to feel elevated and content. Doing a mental cleanse once a month can be the remedy to set yourself on the path to happiness recovery. Pay a visit to the past to confront your fears. Get rid of the people who bring you down. Free yourself from any emotional baggage. It will help you silence the bully in your head. Take a periodic stock of all the things that make you anxious and declutter. Why? Hold on to the things that you know to bring you grief anyway. Unless you're one of those unhappiness addicts I mentioned above, which calls for a more radical intervention, carrying emotional baggage without doing anything to unload it is an anti-glee behavior. So now you know certain habits make it more challenging to experience happiness. Courageous. Identify and eliminating these counterproductive habits can create the necessary space for happiness to enter your life. So get rid of it. Get rid of the baggage, the clutter, the everything. You need to look into possible solutions if you're constantly asking yourself, why am I not happy? Unless there is a proper mental health issue that needs to be addressed, please do enhance the quality of your habits and you'll experience a more positive perceptive on life. After all, everyone deserves to be happy, including you, my friend. Wishing you the best of what life has to offer. Much love. This is how we end our program today. Saying much love to all of you that is striving to be the happy person.
The happiest person.
The happiest person known to mankind. So we'd like to say thank you. And we do apologize for the glitch that we had this morning. Technology at its best and at its worst. But we are able to come back and get to talk about what it is that we want to talk about. Why am I so unhappy? And believe me, every now and then in each and every one of us lives, we do have that moment where the things that we want in life, we don't have it, and it gives us a little bit of unhappiness. But again, it is not lasting forever, and it should not last forever. Get up and be determined to make your life better, and be determined to keep it happy where you want it. So thank you all again. We'll say goodbye now because it's 3 minutes after the hour of 12 o'clock. Let me say thank you to Williams Broadcasting, WIBS, there in Granitown 107.5. Also to Skytron 94.9, Winnows FM in New York. To Jester for being my co-host, and to each and every one of you that checked in into Take 5. We're now at 80-something subscribers. We want to make it to 100 soon. So please share with everyone. Tell them about our program so that they can subscribe, and we'll be better really days and months and years coming along, because mental health is everybody's business. And it is not about always bad. There are good things to being mentally able.
So long, everyone.
Take care of yourselves. And we shall
Catch
see
up with you next week, Tuesday, God's will.
Take care. Thank you so very much to all.
Welcome to Tech 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester. Are you looking for that one look